What's up YouTube, Dodo here from Zephyr, and today, as a lot of you have requested, I am bringing you a dedicated combo guide for the Utopia Onomat profile I showed you all the other week. So in this video I'm going to give you some basic combo breakdowns so you can see what you can do with the more commonly starters and then what you're going to be doing with the more uncommon starters. The deck is very combo heavy, so it's one of these ones that you need to learn the lines inside and out, but also know what to deviate and how to deviate should you be interrupted. So we're going to start off with the more common combo of all of them, being what happens if you open up your Dodo Warrior plus any random discard. So you're going to start off with the Dodo effect, and this is going to allow you to send a Dodo monster from the deck to the grave to special it from the hand. The card you're going to want to send will be your Dodo Wolf, because you're going to be able to revive this from the graveyard. This now becomes a level 4. The benefit of this one is if you control a Dodo except itself while this card's in the grave, you get to special summon it, but it gets banished when it leaves the field. Now remember, overlay units technically aren't the monster leaving the field, they are overlay units, so they actually still end up in the graveyard. So you're going to overlay both your Dodo Wolf and Gloved Warrior with your brand new Girl. Because this one has a Zubaba, Gaga, or Dodo as material, you get to utilize the ability to detach a material from this, and you specifically want to detach the Dodo Warrior to grab you your Onomat pickup. Now the reason you detach the warrior is specifically this will have an additional effect. If it's detached from an Xyz to activate its effect, you get to add a Zubaba monster from the deck to the hand, and you're going to want to grab your Zubaba Knight. You then get to activate your Onomat pickup. This allows you to add an Onomat card from the deck to the hand, and the best one you're going to want to grab will be your Onomatopia. You're then going to activate your Onomatopia, and this is where the random card comes into play, as this is going to discard this card in order to then add up to 2 monsters that meet the following requirements of being a Zubaba, Gaga, Go, or Dodo. So you're going to want to grab yourself a Utopic Onomatopia, which is obviously accounting as all of the types, so it's always treated as a Zubaba, Gaga, Go, and Dodo. And then the other one you want to grab will be your Gaga Ganbara Knight. There's going to be a lot of Go-Go-Go's, Dodos, and you name it in this video, so hopefully you can keep up. So then what you're going to want to be able to do here is you're going to want to be able to special summon either of one of these, and that's where your Ganbara Knight will come into play. So you get to reveal another Gaga monster in your extra deck, and luckily we do play the Gaga Magician. So reveal that, and in doing so, you then get to special summon this card and then apply one of the following effects to special summon a Gaga monster from the hand or change the battle position of a monster on the field. We are only going to want to special summon a Gaga from the hand, so we're going to summon this card down, and the Gaga that we can summon will be your Utopic Onomatopia because it counts as all of them. Now it's very important that you utilize the main phase effect of your Onomatopia to special summon down your Zubaba Knight. The reason we're going to be doing this is we're going to utilize your Utopia and your Ganbara Knight a little bit later on, but we're also going to be able to utilize our Zubaba Knight now to give you a bit of resource as a follow-up should anything happen. So if it's normal or special, you get to activate one of the effects to add a Zubaba monster from the deck to the hand except itself, and this card level becomes the added monsters level. So you're going to want to grab your Zubaba Bako Gaga coat, and this will now be a level 4. So it's very important that we remember this is now a level 4. You're now going to want to overlay 2 monsters. Now you can overlay both of these Zubaba Knights and Gagas if you want to, because you're going to be able to detach 2 materials and trigger both of their secondary effects. So the card you want to overlay these both into will be your ZS Utopic Sage. You're then going to use your Utopic Sage's effect to detach 2 materials to special summon a ZW or ZS monster from the deck. So you're going to detach both your Ganbara Knight and your Zubaba Knight, and remember they're both going to have graveyard effects that we're going to resolve in a minute. So this is going to allow us to special summon out our ZS Ascended Sage, and in doing so, your Ganbara Knight will allow you to, because it was detached on an Xyz to activate its effect, to add a Go, and then you're going to be able to add a Gaga off of the back of the Zubaba as well. So the Go you're going to want to add will be your Go Goblin. And the Gaga that you're going to want to add can pretty much be anything that you have access to for the rest of the deck. It's not an absolute mandatory option to add that Gaga, it just gives you that option to give you a bit more of a follow-up. So if you want to follow up, you can get another Zubaba Gaga coat. If you do also play another Utopic Onomatopia, you can grab that as well for follow-up, which is going to give you a little bit more resource. So now what we want to do here, before you go any further, is you're going to utilize both of these by overlaying both your Gaga and your ZS Utopic Sage, as they both are not number monsters, which is really, really important for the next play you're trying to make. And that's going to get you into your Utopic future, and then you're going to go into your Utopic Draco future. Now you can very easily put this up in the extra monster zone if you want to, or you can save that space for the Dragnar. As long as you leave some space open, you'll be in a very good position. Now keep in mind, we haven't even used our normal summon yet, so we actually have a lot more resource that we can start to play through. So if you now that you are protected because of Utopic Draco Future, you can normal summon down the Goblinberg. When this card is normal, you get to special summon a non-warrior Go from the deck, and the one you're going to want to get access to is going to be your Gaius. Now remember, all of these have different graveyard effects that will allow them to summon themselves back to the field or be utilized in different ways, so that's what you really want to focus on. So what we'll do here is all you need to do is overlay 2 monsters on this one, and you mainly want to be utilizing the ZS Ascended Sage because this will grant a Utopia XZs an additional effect. So when you overlay both of these into Utopia Double, this will trigger the secondary effect of the ZS Sage, and if this card is XZ summoned, you get to add a rank up magic normal spell from the deck. So you're going to want to grab yourself your hyper rank up magic Utopia Force. Now what you're going to do is you're going to detach the Gaius, and this is going to allow you to activate and resolve the Utopia Doubles effect to grab you a double or nothing, and then rank it up or rank it across into a Utopia. Now the reason we're going to want to do this is we're going to want to activate our hyper rank up Utopia Force, and this is going to allow us to turn our Utopia into our Utopic Dragnar. Use Utopic Dragnar's effect to detach 2 materials, so your ZS Ascended Sage and your Utopia Double. And this is going to allow you to summon a monster from the extra deck that is a number between 1 and 100. So you're going to want to go to your number 38, make sure your Dragnar or your Utopic Future is in the extra monster zone, as you will need this space later on. The benefit of going into your Hope Harbinger is it will also allow you to then attach a hyper rank up magic Ultra Force because an XZ numbers was summoned. Now you can also keep in mind that if you wanted to do it this way as well, you can also go for the number 90 Galaxy Photon Lord to give you a monster negate, but I quite like the attack redirection of the Hope Harbinger. So now we've got the Hope Harbinger now has a material, and the difference with that one is this now has the redeclare an attack if you need to. You also still control a Go and your Utopic Onomatopoeia. So you're going to be able to overlay both of these guys right now, and you're going to go into your Gar Magician. You can now utilize your Gar's Magician to detach a material from this card to target an XYZ in your graveyard except itself and special summon it, but you negate its effect, which is absolutely fine. So you want to detach your Goblinberg, and the reason you're going to do that is that will allow you to grab a Dodo warrior from the deck, so you've got even more resource as a follow-up for the next turn. The XZs you're going to want to revive will be your Utopia Double, and then you're going to be able to overlay both of these to go into the brand new number F0 Utopic Future Zexal. Now the benefit of something like this when you're using the Gar Magician as material is it grants the additional effect to a Utopic Future XZs that has this card as material, that during your main phase you can detach 2 materials from this card to target an XZs you control. Until the end of the turn you change the attack to 4000, but you negate its effect. So it's one of these ways that you can increase the attack of any of these monsters to go up to 4k should you need it for that final push. So that's the end of our turn. We do have a double or nothing, should we need to, but we don't have a monster to negate an attack exactly this minute. You've also got the ability to extend with the Zubabar Gar coat a little bit later on, and then you need to remember that you also have the revival effect from the graveyard of your Go Gaius, that if you special summon a Go monster, you can bring this card back from the grave. So that's going to open you up to some more XZs should you need to, but to be completely honest, you shouldn't need it from this particular position here, because what we have is we've got the negate off the back of your Utopic Draco Future, we've obviously got the Dragnar as well, that if you're able to give an additional material to it is very easily done, that then can be able to add to summon out another number monster. You've got your Utopic Zexal Future, which is going to have the ability to gain attack equal to the combined ranks of all XZs you control, so a rank 12 plus a rank 8 here, and then on top of that any of the XZs that are in your opponent's graveyard. And then when your opponent activates a card or effect, you get a quick effect to detach material from this card to take control of a monster your opponent controls, and for the rest of the turn it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. So it's another way of defending, and you've got the redirection off of the back of the Hope Harbinger, and of course the spell negation. So you've got loads you can really kind of work with on this one as well. It is very, very important, and that's really going to give you a bit more defense, plus the follow-up on your hand. And remember that we only used 2 cards in our hand, so we're still going to have 3 more to help back us up should we need it. So that's it for the first combo, very straight lined in regards to how consistent it's going to be off of the back of a Dodo warrior access. So now let's show you another combo and exactly what you can do with that one. So combo number 2 is going to be just as consistent when you're considering, but maybe a little bit more because you do play Reinforce with the Army, and this is a level 4 warrior that you can search than the first combo. Now this one you do start off with your normal summon, but you get a lot of special summons coming off the back of this. So you start off by normal summoning down your Goblinberg, and this will then allow you to special summon out your Gaius by shifting the Goblinberg to defense. Pretty much the same as the first coins. We're going to overlay both of these. We're going to go into the Girl. Make sure you're detaching the more recent Goblinberg to then grab you your Onomat pickup. In doing so, being detached to activate an Xyz monster's effect, you get to add a Dodo from the deck to the hand, being the warrior. You'll then be able to activate the pickup. This will then allow you to grab the Onomat. Activate the Onomat, send in the random card from your hand to the grave to grab you your Utopic Onomat and your Ganbara Knight. Now what you're going to want to be able to do here is you're going to use your Dodo Warrior to send the gloves from the deck to the grave, and then utilize gloves to revive itself, as these are both now level 4. Overlay these into your ZS Utopic Sage, detaching specifically the Dodo Warrior so that you can grab a Zubarbar on resolution. So we summon out the ZS Ascended Sage, Dodo will trigger to grab you your Zubarbar Knight. At this particular point here, this is when we can start to extend once you've set up your defense. So you're going to put your Gar and your ZW Sage together, as they are not numbers, but they are the same rank. And it's going to let you grab your Utopic Future and then go into your Topic Draco Future. Now keep in mind, as this exact scenario kind of builds up, this is the position where your opponent has to Nibiru you. If they do Nibiru you, that's still absolutely fine, because you'll still have the reveal of your Ganbara Knight to then work you down with your Utopia Onomatopira, and then your Onomatopira will be able to special summon down your Zubarbar Knight, and Zubarbar Knight will search you out your Zubarbar Bako coat that can then be extended. So even if you do get Nibiru'd, you'll have loads more that you can still push through. It's not the end of your turn. What you're going to be able to do here is you're now going to reveal from the extra deck your Gar Magician to special summon down your Ganbara Knight. In turn, this will then allow you to special summon down your Onomatopira. You can then use your Topic Onomatopira to special summon down your Zubarbar Knight. In doing so, grabbing you the Gar coat. Now what you want to do here is you want to overlay 2. Specifically, you want to use your ZS Sage, and then you're either going to use your Ganbara Knight if you want to be able to search yourself out a Go, or you want to be using your Zubarbar if you want to be able to grab yourself a Gar. I know a lot, but you'll keep up with either one, because this is now, of course, a level 4. So either one you overlay, it doesn't make much of a difference right now, as you'll be overlaying the other one later on. So you're going to go put both of these into Utopic Double. This will then be able to trigger the ZS Sage to grab you your Hyper rank up. Then you can use the effect of your Utopia Double to detach your Ganbara Knight to allow you to add a Go on resolution of grabbing a double or nothing and turning this into a Utopia. So make sure you grab the Go. This will be a follow-up for your next turn by being able to grab you your Goblinberg again. Now remember, at any point when you summon specifically a Go, and it is a when effect, you'll be able to bring back your Go Gaius, and that can allow you to extend your plays a little bit more. That's just something to keep in mind. I just wanted to keep this as simplistic as possible, but it just shows you have more layers and lines of extension should you want it. You also still have the ability to add your Zubarbar to this field, and the benefit of something like that with the Go guys is you can add another rank 4 to this field. I'm just trying to show you exactly how we can repeat the feats of the first one. So using the Hyper rank up magic Utopia Force, we're going to turn our Utopia into the Dragnar, and then you're going to be able to utilize Dragnar's effect, detaching 2 materials. And this will then allow you to summon out your Utopia, your number 38 Hope Harbinger, and with this being in the graveyard, it can attach itself to it as material. Now with your final level 4s, you're going to overlay both of these and repeat what we did in the first one by going into your Gar Magician. Detach your Zubarbar Knight so you can get a follow-up by grabbing a Gar of the later turns. Revive yourself and Xyz in the grave, it being your Utopia Double. And then overlay both of these, going into the brand new Utopic Future Zexal. Now the big difference between this one and this one is to go into your Utopic Future, it requires 2 monsters that are not numbers, whereas this one just requires 2 monsters of the same rank. So the benefit of something like that is these are both level 4s, or rank 4s to be specific, and that's when you're going to be able to get away with it. And the best thing about your Gar is it just allows you to revive any Xyz from the graveyard except itself. It does negate the effects, but that's absolutely fine, and because you've created a Utopic Future, as mentioned in the first combo, you have the ability that during the main phase you can increase any of these monsters on the field's attack to 4,000. Now, remembering to resolve after we have detached all of these materials your Zubaba Knight to grab you a Gargagar. It then gives you another follow-up of a second Zubaba coat should you want to, or if you play any other Gargagars in the deck, you also have that as another follow-up. So if you do play more Utopia Onomats, you can grab another one of these, which can be quite useful for you, because that'll allow you to reflood the field during the next turn. So again, this is our entire hand. You're still going to have 3 more cards that you started off with, because we've only used 2 from our opening hand. And again, you've got your monster negation there. If you get another material to the Dragnar, you've got the ability to summon out another number. You've got your Utopic Future, which is going to be a technical change of heart. And you also have your Hope Harbinger, which is an attack redeclaration and a spell negation. So very, very kind of powerful field. There are more combos like this can kind of resolve, but you pretty much go down the exact same route. It just gets a little bit less consistent, because the other way is to start off with your Zubaba Knight plus a random discard. You also have other versions of this combo that will utilize stuff like your Mathmech I think it's Alambertian, and that's how you can work your way into an Astraltopia to then special summon down the Astraltopia and extend from that point on. And then it kind of comes down to your build and how you kind of adapt it and work it from there. Anyway, I know these combos are, I've only done like 2 long combos just to kind of give you the breakdown and show you the consistency of what the deck can do, using your 2 more commonly known starters. And there's obviously you've got a load more to adapt with it, so that's where your test stands will come into play. That's when you're going to learn the deck a little bit more inside and out. And as I mentioned at the start, the most important thing about this particular type of deck is that it has loads of variations. It has a desired end goal to always be the same with what you're trying to aim to get, but then it will come down to whether you want to play your Gallant Granite to search you out in the Nibiru for your play, whether you want to play Dugueres to revive from the graveyard as your additional extender, or if you want to play it particularly this way to kind of not be as respectful of Nibiru. There are a couple of times, like the second combo is a little bit more Nib protected than the first one, but that really kind of comes down to the environment, and that's when you might need to adapt the deck to go, okay, I need to worry about Nibiru, so I'm going to include Gallant Granite, I'm going to include Dugueres, I'm going to look around it a different way instead. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Any questions at all, by all means, please put in the comments down below. I'm more than happy to answer them. For now, as absolutely always, stay safe, and of course, happy dueling.